Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia. So if you're in Northeast Maryland, Delaware, South Jersey, Philadelphia, Allentown, Harrisburg area, do me a favor, reach out to me. We are just such an easygoing, we're a fun group. Not saying we're not competitive, because we are, but we're there to have fun. That is the name of the game. That's the most important thing we can do. And at the end of the day, have fun, have a beer, or whatever your poison is. Just nothing inhaled in my house. And just have fun. You know, it's all about, it's a game. So this I'm actually very excited about this battle report, because I just went down to Battle Cry in Baltimore. It's funny, it was 10 minutes from my in-laws' house. But the first game, I actually had issued a challenge to a gentleman who I'd done a square table with, and it is Tunasandwichify. And all I can say is he is such a great guy. If you haven't tuned into his channel, hopefully you'll start posting some more stuff soon. I know he's in the same stock of life that I am, you know, family, kids, work, and everything else. But I'm hoping, because he was such an awesome guy, such a fun guy to play against, and honestly, his list scared me. Like, it was funny because a couple of other people turn around and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I looked at his list and I think he got the advantage because he's got a dragon." I looked at them. I'm like, that dragon scares the crap out of me. So, again, this is Battle Cry, Baltimore, 2015. Sandwichify, I believe is how it's properly pronounced, versus myself, Sir MC 2015. My name is Mark, and he's playing the Warriors of the Dark Gods versus, of course, Dwarven Holds. As much as I hate that company that will not be named, they still put up some nice artwork, so that's all I can say. So it's 4,500 points. This was Hold Your Ground battle line. So 12-inch deployment, and then whoever has the center wins. So here's his list. So if you want to go ahead, pause it, look at his list. Again, when I look at this list, a couple of my friends were like, "Oh, you know, I think yeah." I'm like, I look down, I'm like, I've only got 2 big blocks on the board. If he's got 2 units of Crusher Knights that are going to be pain for me to go through. He's got the stuff that he can turn around and get at my War Machines, being the Hell Riders and the Blood Beasts. And he's got the Fallen, too, that's going to walk up, do damage. They'll probably die, but they're going to walk up and do damage. They're like my Vengeance Seekers, so to speak. And if I ignore them, then they're going to go after my War Machines. And then he's got that brick of Wasteland Warriors on my 2. He should be doing damage. They've got Halberds. That's at least 10 attacks up front, plus an extra plus supporting attacks. So that's so yeah, I mean, I can't say more than that. So that's a total of 15 strength 5 attacks with the same weapon skill. So 4s and 3s is what he would need to do to wound me. And otherwise, I need 4s and 4s, 4s and 3s on a charge. But I'm striking after him. So it really depends on his damage output and how the dice fall when it comes up to that unit. His Warrior Priest, you know, doesn't threaten me in terms of combat, but he's there. He's a bunch of attacks, and he's strength 5, so it's something to look out for. And his general, that Burning Blade of Chaos. I'm like, okay, you know, Burning Blade of Chaos, what does that do? It's 130 points. Like, what does it do for 130 points? And they told me, I'm like, holy crap. So I rely a lot on my King's survivability, and this thing would eat my King. This thing would eat my unit. So he's got a lot of tools and that he can easily go up against me. And when it comes down to that dragon can turn around and just eat me alive. So here's my list. Eventually, there's my list. Pause it, take a look at it. You know, all I can say is this is the same list I have been running now at 5,000 points. I had an extra unit. I had Hull Guardians in there and a couple of extra models in the units that are already there. But that's it. This is my 5,000 point list that I toned down to 4498. If you're watching my battle reports, you know what's going on. Please feel free, take a look at it. as I said, it's been working for me so far. So here's our deployment. And we started placing unit by unit by unit by unit, and he was down to about 4 drops or 3 drops. And at that point, I didn't have my meat and potatoes, so to speak. He really had no idea where I was going to go because I still had about 3 or 4 drops left. And I'm looking at the board. I'm like, all right, I know Dragon's going behind the hill. All right, I'm just going to drop everything and try for first turn. And that's exactly what happened. And this is, of course, after Vanguards and Scouts, because I have a scouting unit over in the field on the far side. I Vanguarded up there on the left with the great weapons. I wanted to try to drag his unit of cavalry through the fields to fail some dangerous terrain tests. He Vanguarded his Lust up to the woods there in the middle, and that's it. Now, for Tunasandwichify, I'm just going to call him Tuna. For Tuna, he is a awesome painter. So I'm very impressed by his work. Here's a picture of his dragon, and he turns to me. He's like, "Yeah, it's not done yet." I'm like, "It's not done?" Like, holy crap! I feel like I should be going back to kindergarten. I mean, I'm drawing stick figures compared to this guy. Here's his crushers. I'm just like, wow. I'm really just awed by his ability, his skill level, and can't say enough. So I went for first turn. So I'm going to go back a few picks. I end up getting first turn. I do end up moving up. Unfortunately, I think I missed the picture. Or no, it's after some of the shootings. I then took a picture of the board. I end up moving up the way I usually do. I'm an aggressive player. I know that. I think everybody here knows that. I try chaffing him up to the best of my ability so he can't get in at my war machines, because right now they're very, very vulnerable to that unit of Hell Riders. And that's it. So going back forward. So over there, you see that 1 wound on that Hell Beast. So that took a unit of 10 guys shooting at him. Did nothing, or maybe 1 wound. 1 organ gun shot at him. I'm sorry, the 10 handgunners did not shoot at him. So 1 organ gun shot at him, did 1 wound. Second organ gun shot at him, killed him. That took 2 organ guns to kill a Hell Beast. So over here, the handgunners took out 1 of those guys. And there's the picture of the board. So that was the end of my movement. And after shooting, as you can see, I have him chaffed up with the Rangers up in the middle there. There's my battle lines. My spears are a little bit behind my Deep Watch. My Deep Watch is the usual Runic Smith and King in that unit, and the BSB is in with the spears. And of course, my engineer is back there guarding my war machines. So over here, it's during his turn, he decides to march with them because he does not want to charge into my Vengeance Seeker there. So he marches, and he rolls 3 1s. Well, I killed 1. That leaves 1 model left in that unit. It was just, oh, I feel for you. I've been there, done that. Oh, Equitane comes to mind. And then, so here's his after movement. He ends up charging my Rangers with the unit of Crushers. The reason why he charged is he failed his Frenzy test. I think he got to roll that twice, and he failed. Everything else passed his Frenzy check, but again, I was trying to goad him into that. I wanted that. Let's see. On the far side, he did charge my Great Weapon guys with his cavalry, and he passed every single dangerous terrain test. He passed all his DTs. And he just simply moved up and got closer to my war machines. And he placed his 1 Hell Rider close enough so I couldn't sneak in there with my engineer to do it in. So there's another picture of the board. Here's that combat. I had -1 to wound on them. Pretty sure he just eats them. And over here in this combat, he actually turns around and does quite a bit of damage. He kills 4 of them, or 6 of them, leaving me 4 models left. I break, I run, I'm still on the board. He chooses not to pursue but reform. And that's it. So that's how that looks. Over there, his crushers get all the way to the field. He ate my oh, whatever the hell they are, the Rangers. So sad, so sad. The Rangers, I love Rangers. I really do love Rangers. Rangers are a great versatile unit, especially if you just give them shields and skirmish, because then they can turn around and move wherever you need them to. Within basically 18 inches, so 9 inches in either direction. They're great redirectors because they have that advanced deploy. If your opponent turns around and allows you, you can turn around and then get into a flank and then go after war machines. You can put them out in front 18 inches or 12 inches into in a forest or something like that. And they're just great redirectors. I actually like that unit. I like that unit as a small unit. And doesn't have to have throwing weapons. And they're BS4 too, so it actually would be in my benefit to give them 4,500. I don't have the points, and I'm not willing to part with anything right now. Let's see. So, into my turn, I turn around, I charge in with my one Vengeance Seeker. I charge in with the Spears. I opt not to charge in with the Deep Watch. As right now, that Deep Watch is watching the entire field, and if for any reason I kill that entire unit, that would end up choking my spears from and their maneuverability. And right now, I want to kind of clear that open. As you see during his movement phase, he did bring his dragon out to play, and I'm going, crap, and it's right there on my flank, but I'm not worried about my Deep Watch, and I think what he's planning on doing is War Machine hunting with it. I charge my other Vengeance Seeker into the other unit of Fallen up at the top. And let's see. That's really it. I won't lie. Oh, that was a failed charge. I did try to charge his Blood Beast, and I failed that charge. So I'm there, sitting in there in the woods. There's that charge. There's that charge. They rallied. So during magic phase, I get off, reroll to hits, and -1 wounds. So I know I've never said this before, but whenever you see the little helmet, that means reroll to misses, and the dull thing there that's supposed to be like black gold or whatever, that actually is -1 to wound. And I have a shiny one that's like that but bigger, and that's -1 to hit. That's how I indicate my spells. During the shooting phase, alright, I took out the dragon. That thing, if I didn't take out that dragon, this would be a completely different game. And I'm going, crap. And it's so beautifully painted. I love that thing. And the reason why it's on a bigger base is just so it doesn't fall over. So if you look, he actually has the correct base on top of that bigger base. I turn around. It's got that lucky shield, so whatever negates the first hit. So I shot it using my handgunners. Failed to wound it. I shot with my first organ gun. Think I failed to wound it. Shot it with my second organ gun. I put 5 wounds on the darn thing. It still has 1 more wound. Still 1 more. I shot it again with my engineer. And engineer's weapon is 18-inch, strength 5. I did 1 wound. He failed his armor save, and that's what did it in. To me, that's a lot of shooting, but I don't have a high shooting list. I just have powerful shooting. But it's like, oh my god. And had I not done that, we're talking different game at this point. We're really talking different game. Let's see. I guess I got minus... Oh, you know what? The reason why... That's the -1 hit. So the reason why we changed that is I turn around and we're doing the combat. I'm like, oh, you're at -1 to wound. He goes, no, I'm at -1 to hit. I stopped the -1 to wound. I'm like, no, you reversed it. He goes, I meant to do it the other way. I'm like, I don't care. Let's just swap it out. Because again, it's a fun, friendly game. Even though it's a tournament, we're paying to be there. It's a fun game. It's end of the day, here's your beer. He ends up just getting eaten by the spears and Junior and everything else. So that did not go well. They didn't break. They died. Over here, and they turn around and they got eaten by Junior. Junior only did 2 wounds and took a wound in return, but I won that combat. They stuck on their leadership, but he's going, crap. So here's a picture of Tuna overlooking the board there, and I'm liking how things look. He charges in with his Hell Rider into the one organ gun. He's like, look, if I don't kill you, I'm at least going to tie you up. That's all I can hope to do with that one guy because he only get 3 attacks and I still have armor. He charges in with his Hell Beast. I think that's all he did. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look. Yep, there's that. He didn't want to go anywhere near Junior or the Spears at that point because my BSB was on that side and he's T5. That would just be able to put a hurting on that Hell Beast. And that Hell Beast there, I think was linked to his General because the first one I killed was the one that was linked to his BSB. So I actually chose to flee as a charge reaction. I was hoping to get a little further away. He ends up catching me and killing me. At the same time, I don't mind because it puts me in a spot I'm not worried about anything. Just flat out, I am not worried. Over here, there's that charge. No, I'm sorry. There's that charge I was talking about. And that's it. However, if you notice in this picture, that Hell Rider's not there. I think he failed to wound me, or maybe did 1 wound. And meanwhile, the crew actually did their job and managed to kill them. I'm chaffing up. So I killed what was left of the Fallen with the exception of 1 model that runs away and never rallies. And I take the Junior who's now got 2 wounds on him and chaff up that other unit. And you know what? I always forget to do it. You're coming with me, so after he's dead, he gets 1 more attack. I always forget to do that. Crushers. What happened here? Because the Fallen aren't there anymore. I'm trying to remember what the heck happened. I'm pretty sure... Did he charge me? Well, we'll wait and see. So, for his knights, I turn around. Yeah, because it's the end of my... I think this might be the beginning of his phase. His knights, if you notice, there aren't quite as many. I turn around, I shot them. Killed 3 of them with 1 organ gun. I shot the Crushers and killed a bunch of the Crushers. And I'm pretty sure I took out some more of the 15-man unit using the handgunners. So there's that picture. There's that picture. And, yep. So that was actually his turn. I end up charging him. No, I'm sorry. So I charged him with the Spears. I charged him with Junior. Everything's getting in. I do not wish to kill him with everything. I want at least something to live, so it breaks, runs, and goes toward and sends my units towards the Crushers. And I think that's exactly what happens. So those 2 turn around and get there, chaffing up his Crushers. Meanwhile, Junior there sitting behind, and that's it. So he charges in with his knights into the War Machine. Nothing I can do about that. It was a long charge. He made it. Good for him. And he charges into Junior with the unit of warriors. He kills them. During my turn, he turns around and starts to go after my Deep Watch and pursue the Deep Watch rather than going War Machine because he's like, oh, my knights can turn around and take it, but he hadn't gotten into my other organ gun yet, and I still had the engineer and the handgunners. I moved up the handgunners and I shot his one remaining Blood Beast using my remaining organ gun. And let's see, over here, he turns around during his turn. I'm sorry for missing pictures because it is a tournament, so we are pressed for time. So I greatly do apologize. He tries to rally his Fallen. His Fallen fail to rally, and they end up running off the board. So that allowed me then to have a clean charge with, again, Junior and the Spears into the Crusher Knights. And let's just say it didn't go pretty. With Hatred and everything else, the Deep Watch had ended up charging into his Wasteland Warriors. So there's that picture. I don't think he expected that much damage output from Deep Watch. Most people don't. But it does have the King. It does have a Runic Smith. But on the charge, I'm still Strength 5, AP 1. So it's -3 to his armor. That negates his armor with Hatred. Not sure I had Hatred on that unit. I think, yeah, I did have Hatred on that unit. So, yeah. And it was just Sherman's March to the Sea at that point. They get caught. I stop 1 inch in front of the building. And that's it. So, during his turn, here's a picture of the board. He goes after and kills my other organ gun. And then after that, he does a combat pivot. During his turn, he turns around and I was trying to chaff him up a little bit because of the engineer. And he ends up charging. So here's the last picture that I have. He ends up charging my handgunners. My handgunners stand and shoot. And I do 1 wound. He's got 1 knight left. 1 knight. That knight turns around and does 1 wound. So he's got charge and wound. I'm down by 2. I'm steadfast. Steadfast leadership 10. I fail, I break, and that cost me the objective. Because at that point, because his knights are scoring, my Deep Watcher there, that's scoring, and I went, crap. So that turned to 20-0 to a 17-3. So to me, great play. Great play at the end by Tunasandwichify. I mean, I just probably would have sat back or tried to go after the engineer. But he did the smarter play, and it paid off for him. So kudos to him. Dwarven Hold victory, 17-3. So, to me, the Wasteland Knights. His Wasteland Knights turned around and took out the organ gun. Both organ guns. So, that's they definitely earned their points because that's over 660 points. Then it took out the unit of handgunners. And that was an extra 280, but they were still on the board. So, 140. 140 points. So, that's, that's all I can say. That's actually what got him his points. The other unit that died it's fairly inexpensive on that unit. Maybe 200 points, less than that. But this was just overall a fun game. I can't say enough about my opponent, and we just had a blast. And that's it. Please post your questions, comments, or concerns underneath, or feel free to reach out to us. Again, if you're in the area, reach out to me. Until next time, happy gaming.